Welcome to our YouTube channel, iForbes Sports. Here are the latest NBA games result, schedule of games tomorrow, and the updated NBA team standings as of today, December 23.
In the first of 3 NBA games played today, the Indiana Pacers took over in the second half to defeat the Sacramento Kings on the road, with the final score of 122-95. Pascal Siakam led Indiana with a double-double performance of 19 points and 10 rebounds, followed by Miles Turner, 15 points, and Tyrese Halliburton, 14 points. For Sacramento, De'Aaron Fox led the Kings with 23 points, followed by another double-double game from Domantas Sabonis with 17 points and 21 rebounds. In the second game, the Houston Rockets took down the Toronto Raptors on the road with the final score of 114-110. Dylan Brooks led the Rockets in scoring with 27 points, followed by Jalen Green, 22 points, and Alperen Sengun, 17 points. For Toronto, Jacoby Walter led the Raptors in scoring with 27 points, and Chris Boucher added 15 points. In the third and final game played today, the Denver Nuggets needed 5 extra minutes to finally get rid of the pesky New Orleans Pelicans on the road, with the final score of 132-129 in overtime. Nikola Jokic had another triple-double performance, finishing with 27 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists, followed by Jamal Murray, who also scored 27 points, and Russell Westbrook, 21 points. For New Orleans, Jordan Hawkins led the Pelicans in scoring with 25 points, and CJ McCollum finished the game with 24 points. Here is the updated NBA team standings as of today, December 23rd. In the Eastern Conference, the Cleveland Cavaliers still have the best record this season so far, with 25 wins against only 4 defeats, and have won 4 straight games. At the second place, Jason Tatum and the rest of the Boston Celtics, with 22 wins and just 6 losses. Still at the third place are the New York Knicks, with 18 victories and 10 defeats, and have now won 3 consecutive matches. At the fourth place are the Orlando Magic, with 18 victories against 12 defeats. At the fifth spot are the Milwaukee Bucks, with 15 wins and 12 losses. Jimmy Butler and the rest of the Miami Heat are still at the 6th spot, with 13 victories and 13 losses, and have lost 3 straight games. At number 7 are the Atlanta Hawks, with 14 victories and 15 loss record, and on a 3-game losing streak. The Indiana Pacers are at the 9th spot, with 14 wins and 15 defeats, and on a 4-game winning run. At number 9 are the Chicago Bulls, with 13 victories against 16 losses. Completing the East top 10 are the Detroit Pistons, with 12 wins against 17 defeats, standing. The Brooklyn Nets are down at the 11th place with 11 victories and 17 losses. At number 12 are the Philadelphia 76ers, with 9 victories and 17 defeats. At number 13 are the Charlotte Hornets, with 7 wins and 21 losses, and have lost 4 straight matches. At number 14 are the Toronto Raptors, with 7 wins and 22 defeats, and have now lost 7 straight matches. And at number 15, and very bottom of the Eastern Conference standings, are the Washington Wizards, with just 4 wins and already accumulated 22 defeats. In the Western Conference, the Oklahoma City Thunder remains at the top, with 22 victories against 5 losses, and on a 7-game winning run. At the second place are the Memphis Grizzlies, with 20 wins and 9 defeats. At the third spot are the Houston Rockets, with 19 victories and 9 losses, and have won back-to-back games. At number 4 is Luka Doncic and his Dallas Mavericks, with 18 victories and 10 defeats standing. Completing the West top 5 is Nikola Jokic and his Denver Nuggets, with 15 wins against 11 defeats. LeBron James and the rest of the Los Angeles Lakers are at number 6, with 16 wins against 12 defeats, and have won 3 straight games. Steph Curry and the rest of the Golden State Warriors are at number 7, with 15 victories and 12 losses. At number 8 are the Los Angeles Clippers, with 16 victories and 13 losses. At the 9th spot are the San Antonio Spurs, with 15 wins and 13 defeats, and on a 2-game winning streak. Completing the West top 10 is Anthony Edwards and the rest of the Minnesota Timberwolves, with 14 wins against 13 losses, and on a 2-game losing streak. The Phoenix Suns are at number 11, also with 14 victories and 13 defeats. Still at number 12 are the Sacramento Kings, with 13 wins and 17 defeats, and have lost 4 consecutive games. The Portland Trail Blazers are at the 13th spot, with 9 victories and 19 losses. The Utah Jazz are at 14th place, with 7 wins and 20 defeats, and have won 2 in a row. And at the very bottom of the Western Conference standings are the New Orleans Pelicans, with just 5 victories and 25 defeats, and have lost their last 7 games. NBA games tomorrow, December 24th, Christmas Eve. The NBA will have 14 games scheduled for tomorrow, as the Orlando Magic and the Boston Celtics kicks things off on Christmas Eve, as they play at the Kia Center in Orlando at 8 in the morning. For the second game, the Charlotte Hornets will try to defend home court as they play versus the visiting Houston Rockets at the Spectrum Center at 8 a.m. For the third game, the league-leading Cleveland Cavaliers will be at home at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse as they host our Kababayan Jordan Clarkson and the rest of the Utah Jazz at 8 a.m. For the fourth game, the San Antonio Spurs will be on the road, as Victor Wembanyama faces Joel Embiid and the rest of the Philadelphia 76ers at the Wells Fargo Arena at 8 a.m. For the fifth game, the New York Knicks will be at home at the Madison Square Garden as they host the visiting Toronto Raptors at 8:30 a.m. For game number 6, the inconsistent Miami Heat will be at home at the Kaseya Center to battle versus the visiting Brooklyn Nets, also at 8:30 in the morning. For game number 7, the Minnesota Timberwolves will be on the road and will play at the State Farm Arena against the Atlanta Hawks, also at 8:30 a.m. For game number 8, the Chicago Bulls will be defending home court as they play against the visiting Milwaukee Bucks at the United Center at 9 in the morning. For the 9th game, the West number 1 Oklahoma City Thunder will be at home at Paycom Center to play against the East worst team Washington Wizards at 9 a.m. For the 10th game, James Harden and the rest of the Los Angeles Clippers will be on the road to play against the Memphis Grizzlies at the FedEx Forum Arena at 9 in the morning. For the 11th game, the Dallas Mavericks will be at home at the American Airlines Center to face the visiting Portland Trail Blazers at 9:30 in the morning. For game number 12, the struggling Golden State Warriors will be at home at the Chase Center to play versus the visiting Indiana Pacers at 11 in the morning. For game number 13, Kevin Durant and the rest of the Phoenix Suns will be a mile high as they play at the Ball Arena against the home team Denver Nuggets at 11 a.m. And for the 14th and final game scheduled for tomorrow, the King, LeBron James, will be at home at the Crypto.com Arena to play versus the Detroit Pistons. Tip-off will be at 11:30 in the morning tomorrow, December 24th.